What's up guys, welcome back to another Pool Bricks video. Hope you guys are having a great morning, and I am too. I just rolled out of bed and stuff. Well, not exactly like that. Ate some breakfast. Anyway, I just worked on this t-shirt right here. Just a little bit of a printed material right there on one of my favorite sweatshirts. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so hope you guys like that right there. Subscribe to Pool Bricks if you haven't already. If this is your first time watching, thank you for watching this video. And today I'm going to be working on a little bit of some stuff for motors and different things like that. So I got this motor pack right here, and inside I got all these different types of power functions kind of things, stuff like that. So I'm gonna be working on some of the different motors and things here, so we'll get to that. All right, so as you can see, I have this giant Lego platform right here. I've had this for a while now. So I'm gonna be building some stuff up top here. I'm going to get my pieces here, and I'm just gonna start off with like a little bit of just some, like a little basic build here. So anyway, I got a couple of these pieces here. They make really good scaffolding, so I'm just gonna start off with adding like one right here, just almost making like a little bit of a platform here. I need to know what the right size is for these, so see, it's 1 over. All right, and then I'm gonna apply my platform piece on. If you're interested in any of these pieces, I got all these pieces that I'm using in this video. All the Lego pieces I got from the lego.com store, so if you're any of those, then check out the Lego store in your nearby mall or super center, anywhere where you would know that there's a Lego store. You can also find it online as the Lego store, so big thanks to them for me being able to get those pieces. So anyway, I'm going to be adding another section of my platform here. I'm just going to build another layer here, because this will allow our motor to be able to have some height distance when we're trying to build what we're trying to get to here. So I think that is all lined up straight. I'm pretty sure, yes, it is. I'm going to add one more layer here just so that our motor can get its height, but notice I'm adding them this way this time so that I can make sure our motor's gonna kind of come out sort of this way, so that we get like a really good, almost like a pulley system is what I'm thinking. Now a good spot that we could put here is we can put our battery pack somewhere right here, and then we can have our motor up here at the top, so that will allow a really good section for our motor to be able to be used. If you notice, all these pieces are also the ones that I use in my sneak peek for becoming a Lego minifigure video.
And a car on fire.
I'm still working on that video. I'm almost done with that, but I will soon be able to finish editing that. What happened is I switched cameras, and so that messed up the video because all my stuff was saved on a different phone. But I'm going to get that worked out for you guys so that you are able to watch that. So out of my bin here of my motors, I'm going to want to get my small motor as well as a battery pack. And so that we can control it well, a remote controller as well as the remote control receiver. The remote controller receiver allows so that we can plug this into any motor, but then we can automatically, wirelessly control our motors or power functions or our remote control Lego set cars, etc. So I'm first going to take off the top half of my section of the building, then take off my middle half so that we can install the battery pack at the base of the project. Next, I'm going to add my remote control receiver, and that's going to just clip in right here at the bottom of my battery pack right there. And we're not going to turn anything on yet because I'm just trying to get the basics here. Next, I'm going to finish adding the top half of my middle section of the building. And then I'm going to add this to the section right here. I can also store all these extra wires in the back by just like curling them up a little bit so that nothing else gets in the way of our build. Next, I'm going to finish by adding my top half, remembering that the fronts here need to stick this way so that our motor is able to go out right here. Now, I'm going to add my small motor. My small motor is just going to be a simple click on into place. Then, I can take the cord and plug it in to the first slot of our receiver. This would be allowing our remote control to be able to have full control over the motor. Next, I need to decide which pulley system I'm going to use. I decided to start off with the smaller one just to see how well it works with our string and other parts. Next, I put the parts together and added them to the motor. I then needed to figure out what my pulley would be lifting, so why not a motor? In real life, motors are typically pretty heavy objects that need to be lifted with something like a pulley. Then I took off the upper parts of the tower to reveal the base of the tower to turn the battery on. Overall, this one works pretty well when it comes to moving. So as you have seen, this is one of the many ways that you are able to apply simple power function motors to something like an intricate little building of scaffolding to apply a little pulley system just to pick up a little motor. Just a simple little building thing can get you this far. I did notice something, however, though. With the gray pulley, the string was always just really taking a long time to wrap around. The string was a little bit too thick for the pulley's thin lines around it. So I decided to switch it out with the black pulley, which ended up having much wider lines so that our string can wrap around it smoothly. Now, I really do like how deep the lines are on this wheel, because as you can see, even me just twisting it like this, it already, you could see how well the strings want to overlap. This one that has a super deep style pulley on them. So let's see if we can give it a try. Oh, well, it got a little stuck. Got a little twisted up. Nothing much. So one thing to mention about this though is the string is really hard to try to loop back on here. So when I'm trying to loop this on here and get it to go on, and the many times as you can see I tried getting it on there in the little time-lapse frame, it's just really tricky to get this on here because this string right here wants to like loop over, and that's not what we want. So gotta try something else. But I think I have an idea. So by using a conveyor belt, this would be a really simple way to be able to wrap this around here using a conveyor belt gear to be able to set things up here and lift them up to this top surface. And after reading the manual from the set that the pieces came in, I was pretty confident that I could get this to work. Besides, how hard could it be? Now the conveyor belt has pretty wide pieces for its machinery. In order to use these conveyor belts, I'm going to need a longer Technic piece. It's actually a very simple build for a very simple purpose. You see, when I put this into here, and then I connect it to the motor, and then I plug it in to the motor. I can now wrap my conveyor belt on the gear pieces, which will allow my conveyor belt to be able to rotate maneuverably. But there's one problem though with this conveyor belt, and that's the problem that it's too short. So what I need to do is add some more. Thankfully, the set that I got all these conveyor belt pieces from has about up to 40 or 45 conveyor belt pieces, so I don't really have to worry about running out. One problem is that these conveyor belt pieces do not want to bend straight. So if you've ever seen the ones that are at a water slide park, you would see that the floaties are able to go all the way up in a straight 90 degrees angle. At least maybe about 80 degrees, but you get the idea. But these ones though do not, however, want to go straight, which would mean that I have to do my best to make sure that this is levitated just so that we can get that straight incline, which would mean adding more conveyor belts. Again. I then started building some pieces up to make us simple little supports to help keep our conveyor belt system off of the ground so that nothing is rubbing or causing friction, making the pieces to slow down. I then also added 2 extra pieces on the bottom. So now that we have added our supports at the bottom, I can go ahead and start to lift up what will be the part where we add our gears. So I chose and decided to use this piece because it's really long, and that will help us to be able to get our pieces to fit in right. Going to add this through and make sure that goes in all the way. So I just noticed something, that my piece isn't long enough with this support. So I'm going to take off this back one and add it straight through. There we go. Add this back on the back. I'm going to take my little red piece on the back here and just apply that right on the back so that I don't have to worry about anything else getting messed up. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this back one, but this time I'm going to use a gear since I only have 2 of these main conveyor belt pieces. My piece is just not going in right because it's too long. So I need to scoot this back so that I now get a full lift off of the ground. But now this part is not wanting to cooperate. Even though my gear will fit in perfectly, it's still not, we're not gonna have that effect that we want here. Unless if we did it like this, but then that will pull. I mean, that is totally okay. So I'm gonna take one off and put this through. Everything seems to be going the right way. Now I'm noticing that this bottom is really close to the ground right there. So notice how this part's really lifted, but then it gets really down low right there. So there's a really simple solution for that. I can just raise our supports 1 piece higher, and now this is all a straight angle, as well as my top here is also a straight angle. Now one thing that you might notice is right here, it looks like this piece is really wanting to go this way. So there's also a simple way to fix that. I can just add some pieces on the very side of our support here, which will help this to keep it supported as well as keeping it nice and sturdy. This one, it's not really doing it too much. I think we're okay here. Since I added this flat piece at the bottom, it seems to be doing okay. So everything looks like it should be under control. I decided to use some pretty cool methods for things like a slide, letting our pieces be able to slide down into a little tray that I built by using supports with some basic pieces. This didn't take too long, however. It just took a while from trying to get the slide to be able to hold up, as well as making a perfect tray for the pieces to not really bounce out of. So after adding all the little details, including this really cool slide that comes down to this little slot tray, which that even has this opening little door right here, I'm probably going to use these little small pieces to go up here, and then they fall down here. But what's really cool about this though is just all the little details, including this cool little chair, which I have a little table for a worker, probably including myself. But anyway, it really has these really neat details. Now all what it's time to do is just run the test, which might be kind of hard getting the battery out. You know what? I'll just keep it right there. It's not going to fit after that, after me taking that out. And with the receiver light blinking on, and with everything connected, I think we're ready to go. Oh, it's going backwards. But hey, at least it's working right. Alright, so everything seems to be working here. Oh, and now it just stopped. So it's going pretty good, but it keeps stopping on its own because it's just not enough power to go at this slow speed, as well as trying to pull even with that gray gear in the back there. Since it's irregular to the normal conveyor belt track lines, that's why the power torque isn't enough to keep it going well. It keeps wanting to stop, and then it picks up and then it stops a little bit, which isn't too great because I'm having to push it back here just so that it will get that movement here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pause it here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna change it to a large motor. When switching out the small motor with the large motor, I noticed that the large motor had no places for studs on it, so I had an idea. I then simply added those on the bottom of the large motor so that these would be able to click into place on the top part of our tower. The large motor didn't perfectly fit in the boundaries of the platform, so I just added an extra stud piece on the bottom. Since the large motor is a little bit bigger, it took a little bit of time to get the conveyor belt adjusted, but I finally got it to click on into place. I also had to replace the middle piece that the gear goes on because it would not fit from the original time. Then I put back on the pieces that had fallen off after me trying to replace it. Alright, here it is. After all that time, moment of truth. So as you can see, it's going pretty slow right now, but that's good. It should be able to take it all the way up. And as you can see, it goes all the way in our tray. I'm gonna make a quick adjustment here so that we know our pieces go in the bottom. So here we go again. Gonna set it up there. And now our piece goes all the way in the bottom. gonna kind of set it on a diagonal. It might be illegal, I don't know, but it's just for today. Overall, I'm pretty impressed on how this one actually turned out, guys. Because this is actually like really cool. We got this super cool just illusion and just cool like just chain reaction going on here. See, I can set a piece. It has to be like a really grippy one. So just set a piece all the way up there. And as you can see, it will go up. It will turn. Oh, this one got stuck. Set our piece on there. It goes all the way up to the top, and then we have our little slope thing going on here. That one didn't work either. There we go. So we got our piece going up here, then it goes up to the middle. Oh, it's too small. There we go. This one should work. This one's a pretty big one. There we go. Came all the way down the slide. Now that piece is also kind of big. So if I take our one from earlier, and I just set it very carefully on there, you can see it going up now. That is really, really cool. Really, really cool detail and stuff that this thing also has. If you do not have a remote control, then this thing automatically, it would just be going really fast at its normal 100% speed, which isn't really that great sometimes, because that's a little bit fast. So I don't usually like doing that. I always like preferring using a remote control for mine. But man, this is just really cool though. Overall, I would say out of the two that we've done today, I would say that this one is the best out of all of them. This is the best out of the two that we've done. This is really good. I really liked how it turned out, especially with the gear at the bottom working really well, as well as all the other gears. Just this really nice, smooth control that we have going on here. I really like that. Everything is working really well. And that's really what you want when you're doing stuff like this. That's really what you want here. Thank you guys for watching today's Pool Bricks video. I hope you liked the video and consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope that you comment down below so that you can give your thoughts and interests and what I should maybe do next, or any thoughts and ideas that you have for the different things that I'm able to build. Next time, I'm going to think about maybe doing some more stuff with my LEGO Mindstorms NXT, as well as doing some other building techniques with the wiring and different things like that, as well as getting into different parts of the book, since I haven't done that in a while in previous videos. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.